Live.
Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
All right. What to do, y'all? Today is February 16th, and it is time for the Pinstripe Strong Podcast as we come to you right now weekly, probably on a Sunday, talking about Yankees and all that stuff. And I had to put on my Yankee jersey today because, you start looking at some people in some pinstripes. I keep my pinstripes on, keep them strong, you know what I mean? That's what I do.
Yes, we do.
And we're going to go ahead in this podcast. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk about a couple of things. Of course, we have our weekly segment of Cheaters. And we're going to talk about that, some reactions, some news notes, and some sweet, sweet, sweet sounds from spring training.
Baseball.
Yes.
Let's do it.
What's going on, y'all? It is your boy, Joe's McFly, out here with the Pinstripe Strong Podcast. Joined here. Yes. Thank you, Jeff. Out here joined by my co-host,
Chris.
And
Limu, Emu, and Doug.
Emu.
Yes, that's Keith. And we have Jeff, producer board. So thank you so much, Jeff, helping out today. And
We also have the birthday boy.
yeah, we got Marvin. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Jeff and Marvin, who's here with us today.
To you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Facts.
All right, we good.
Cumpleaños, all that stuff. So we had a good time yesterday. We went out. We had some beers at some German beer spot where we had a whole bunch of memories and all that stuff. And
What's the name of it? It's about to close down too.
I don't know how to pronounce that shit. It's just called German beer spot, bro. That's just what it is because
The beer garden.
it's a German beer spot. I don't know. It's some it's like strong ass beer, bro. Where it's like, Anyway, so Marvin fell off a city bike, but
Just had to slide that in there.
just throwing that. Yeah, here you go, right at you. But yeah, today we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about, right, Chris and
we do, man.
Keith?
A few things to chat about.
But
It's a few things.
Just like Keith said on Twitter, man, we gonna start with the Yankees first, obviously.
This is a Yankee pod.
It is, of course. And guys, first and foremost, just wanted to say, and you guys very well know, if you guys don't know, okay, I am of Dominican descent. So is Chris. So is Jeff. And Keith, we're all linked anyway, but, it's all good.
I'm regular black, but
yes.
they mistake me for Dominican, so I blend right in.
But I definitely wanted to say, rest in peace to Tony Cabeza Fernandez, who was from San Pedro Macorís, which is our hometown in Dominican Republic, and he passed away at the age of 57, I believe. And he's a legend in DR and all that. And in terms of Yankees, I know that he was the one, right, Chris? Chris actually brought it up. I got to give you the credit for that.
Yes, I do. Yes.
He's like, wasn't he the one that actually?
That the Derek Jeter took over for because he got hurt. So
RIP and thoughts and prayers to him and his family. So definitely sad with that. But guys, if this is your first time on the podcast, except for that last segment, all right, we're very serious. We're seriously serious about not taking things too serious. And we're just trying to have fun on here, you know what I mean? We're in the Bronx right now, the BX. If you guys hear some cop sirens in the background, you know why, even though we're in the JomboyMedia studio. And soundproof room, nice, and, so nobody's hearing us outside.
Crispy.
Well, except for you guys listening right now. But if you guys want to, make sure you guys do follow us on social media. Follow Keith at
Keith McPherson, KeithMcPherson. Real
Yes.
name, no gimmicks.
awesome.
Good. And follow Chris.
Chris McFly 28.
And follow me at Joe's McFly. And also follow the Pinstripe Strong podcast. And for any kind of vlogs, news, anything that we put up at Pinstripe Strong on Twitter and Instagram. I know that some people are following us and watching us live right now on YouTube. So thank you guys.
Pinstripe Strong Army.
Yes.
Shout out to you.
Shout to you guys. You guys be in there, the faithful.
Chat. I see the chat. Somebody hit me up in the chat.
Nice. You guys are in there. We may take some questions in there. I don't know if people do come up and say anything, but
we do have reviews though.
We do. So guys, this review section here. We love 5-star reviews, right? So make sure if you guys leave us 5-star reviews, it's gonna help for us to get maybe future guests and stuff like that in the future. And just so leave us a 5-star review, write something on there, how you feel, all that stuff, and we'll go ahead. If it's really good, we'll definitely read it on the podcast. We appreciate all of them. We have some, Chris.
Yeah, we do. From Julian G11.
Julia.
Great, Julia. Great Yankees pod. Outstanding podcasting. Keith, Joes, and Chris do a great job of breaking down the Yankees while providing a fun experience for the listeners. Thank you, Julian.
That is that's the goal.
Definitely. Deirdre, 3, Great Yankees podcast. Joes is a great Yankee fan, and I believe he will die for his team. Passionate fan and knowledgeable. Would definitely recommend it. Chris is spectacular too, along with Keith. They have a great chemistry together. Keep your Pinstripe strong, and let's go win number 28. Go Yanks.
I'm here for that. Any of you guys here for that?
Yeah, I'm here for
It's
that.
time. It is
Winning
time.
number 28.
We're going to do an episode from the float.
Yes. Yeah. Something of significance happened this week. Anybody want to take a guess or a gander as to what happened this week? Anybody? Any one of you two?
Garrett Cole?
Pitchers and catchers.
Yes, pitchers and catchers report. And we talked about in the last episode, Sprung or Spring. And if you guys did not listen to that, first of all, pause this. Okay? Pause this. Go turn that one on. Listen to that. Hold on. And you're back. All right, good. You came back to us. All right, good. So now you know exactly what we're talking about. We're Sprung or Spring. And one of the most beautiful things that you just want to listen to is just the little that it just sounds like a new beginning.
It does. It does.
And when you hear things from Garrett Cole and little things like this where he's just this nice sound.
Yep.
Just the ball hitting the mid, someone striking out, and Garrett Cole had a nice little outing today.
Yes, he did.
And simulated
Every day.
every day. Yeah. So it was some good shit, man. We got a lot to talk about in this.
There's so much. It's funny. We were like obviously pre-pod, setting up and everything like that. We're like, oh man, do we have everything? Because it feels like this whole week.
And we're probably gonna end up missing some shit too.
Yeah.
Like,
Possibly.
Sorry about that.
Possibly, yes.
Didn't mean to.
But aside from spring training and everybody coming out, pitchers and catchers and all that, the Yankees did sign a couple.
Yes, got to fill out the roster.
Yeah.
Bring in some more competition. Well, we kind of talked about this, Chris. Remember the previous one? We were like, oh, who's going to win that 5th spot? And
Right.
you were like, yo, just sign somebody, B. And then we're like, yo, come on.
I said
That's not fun.
Possible outside options, and the Yankees, obviously, they listen to the podcast. So they're like, you know what? Chad Bettis is out there. Let's go sign that man. Minor league deal. He pitched last with the Rockies, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, when it comes to pitchers pitching in Colorado, the ERA is not so pretty. Don't look at the ERA, but the Yankees do love his ground ball.
Tell me, well, how do you guys feel about this signing? Tell me.
I told you don't look at the ERA. But
I did. I just looked at it right now.
I mean,
Keith, what do you think about this?
I like
Chad
it.
Bettis?
It's continuing the farm system of the Colorado Rockies.
I thought you meant you like the ERA. I'm like,
No, I saw that and I never minded because I understood what it was, the ground ball rate. And then when I say the farm system, it's the Colorado Yankees, the New York Rockies.
basically.
When these guys come from Colorado to New York,
Yep.
they find it.
Yeah.
They hit another level. So
It's something.
the thing about Betts is that he's the same guy that hit Luke Voigt in the face with a fastball last year. So that's going to be kind of awkward at first. Like,
That's
hold
gonna
on,
be
let me
funny.
holler at you for a minute, bro.
That's going to be
Say, hey, what's up? Like,
Yo, that hurt for a month.
But Voit, obviously, we all remember he stood in the game.
He ate that. I think the ball was like groaning on the floor. Like,
yo, that's crazy. The ball was hurt. People don't talk about that enough as far as like toughness to wear it off your face like that and just shake it off. Like that's not regular.
He ate that shit.
He's pinstripe strong.
Yeah,
he is pinstripe strong. He kept his pinstripes on. Ball hit him in the face and he kept them pinstripes strong.
Oh man. So yeah, 6.08 ERA. Even though we're ignoring that is
just look at the ground ball, guys. Ground ball rate, guys. Ground ball rate.
I mean, and he could turn into nothing for us.
So basically, his ground ball rate is 60.8.
Basically, his ERA, if you just a decimal point moved in that area.
It is. His ERA is 6.08. His ground ball rate is 60.8.
Yeah, so similar numbers. And numbers are connected somehow.
But so that's cool. And now the other guy, Tony Sick. Is it Sick or Zish?
Oh, by the way, before you get into Zyke. Zyke. I'm such a fucking dad.
Psych your mind.
The ground ball rate, the 60.8% is fifth in the major leagues for those with at least 60 innings pitched. Britain is number one with 77.2.
Oh, no, you Britain.
Oh, no, you Britain. And basically they're saying that, they love his ground ball rate and they could really see him making the fifth starter spot out of spring, which already kind of tells you that they want him to win it.
Listen, if you guys play ESPN fantasy baseball during the season, Chad Bettis is that guy that you pick up on a Sunday when you need pitchers.
A little waiver, quick waiver.
Little waiver guy that you pitch is going to give you like 15 points to give you that edge. Now, the second guy
to have you lose by 30.
Tony Syke. I'm sorry if we're mispronouncing your name, sir, but they signed him to a minor league contract with an invitation to major league, and that's also the similar deal with Chad Bettis. Okay. So the 29-year-old Zyke underwent thoracic?
Thoracic. That word
kick?
Is like a new word.
Thoracic outlet surgery. Wasn't that what
Kyrie had thoracic bursitis in his shoulder.
Bursitis. Wow.
And then didn't LeBron have some type of thoracic something too?
Something.
Didn't Matt Harvey have this?
Possibly.
It's just a word they're putting on injuries that they're like, okay.
He says, "Yo, so I had a thoracic day yesterday."
Yo, that was Thoracic Park.
Thoracic Park. We're not making fun of it. We're not making fun of your injury.
Yes, your injury is very serious.
We're making fun of the word.
We're just not serious about taking serious things that are serious. We're live.
Listen to the
seriously,
podcast.
guys.
We're live.
Seriously.
Yeah. In November 2018, he had the surgery in November 2018. He has not pitched professionally since 2017. And 70 career major league appearances, one start. With Seattle from 2015 to 2017. He went 7-3 with one save, a 2.72 ERA, and 80 strikeouts. According to Elias Sports Bureau, Syke is alphabetically last among players to have appeared in a major league game.
Well, I mean,
there you go.
So that's like a high upside guy, right? Because
I mean, when he's in,
that's like a pen guy, right? A dude for the pen, possibly.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll like that.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. Chad Bettis is more like a long man coming out to eat up innings until Paxton comes back.
Okay,
that's basically what it's looking like. So,
all right.
I think he's got some competition if he gets into the rotation. There's a few guys ahead of him.
They are.
They're talking about Jordan Montgomery looking real good right now.
Yo,
actually, Brian Hoke said today on a post that fifth spot is his. It's his to lose.
Yeah,
from what they've seen in the first 5 days.
Yes, and we talked about this. Yeah.
Gumby Nation.
He actually he pitched after Cole. And he looked pretty good. His breaking stuff looked pretty good.
You know how in spring training sometimes people put like this, they'll take the camera view like from behind the catcher, which is basically the only time that I kind of like it.
Yeah.
During the season, I hate it because I want to see like the ball landing in the strike zone and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But I love seeing spring, the break of the pitch. You know what I'm talking about.
In the spring, it makes it more dramatic. Like that's the perfect angle to be like, oh, that was a fastball. That was fast. Did you hear it hit the glove?
Fastballs are fastballing, sliders are sliding.
The best was that they were showing. I think Meredith might have shown how one of the guys was getting like under the fence to record that video, just putting his camera like underneath the fence just to get that shot.
In the bullpen, right?
Just sneaking to get that shot of the bullpen. Like,
awesome,
top
man.
secret bullpen. Garrett Cole is humming it back there, but we got to get the video. My man is on his knees.
Yeah.
What I love about Garrett Cole is that you see him. Obviously, he has his bullpen session, live BP, and all that. And then once he's done, he's on the side. He's talking pitching. And the way that he talks pitching, man, I can literally just sit there.
How he talks it up. You talk about talking shop.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a guy talk about
like
pitching and the art and the attack and what he's trying to do the way Garrett Cole talks about it.
And Jack Harry's trying to set up something between him and David Cone to just talks just straight pitching, B.
That would be a podcast.
Straight flame.
That would be a
my God.
podcast.
Fuego.
Oh, my God. I would love that. And talking about pitching, guys, Clark Schmidt, man.
Yeah.
His live BP looked really good, too.
The hype train has started.
Yes.
Like, if there was already a little bit of hype, but now that people have seen him, they're saying he's got all the tools, he's got all the stuff. Why can't this guy potentially be in the show this year?
This is what he said. I forgot if he tweeted it or it was just like they asked him a question. He said, listen, if the door's cracked open, I'm going to bust it down.
He said that?
That's what he said.
Confidence.
That's
I
what he
like
said.
that.
That's what he said.
I like
Another
that.
guy knocking the door, too, Davey Garcia. He's on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
That man is doing things, too, in spring, man. They're talking about these two guys. So, I mean, Jordan Montgomery's there. But
It's his spot to lose as of February 16th.
You got to work, bro. It's not going to be given to you, put it like that.
It's competition.
I'm sure he expects
Competition
that,
brings
but-
out the best in
Right.
competitive people. Like, we're about to get the best fifth starter
Yep.
out of who we've got. So
exactly.
Yeah, and then everybody waiting in the wait. Like, listen, even if you don't, and then this is the cool thing about what happened last year. Not cool with the injuries, you know what I mean? But the cool thing is just that you should know, like, bro, any moment's notice, like the 40-man roster is really like, you could be called up like that. You know, even though they say, you know, it's
the
25,
next man up thing.
Next man up.
Really, what that is Cashman having a plan A, B, C, and D.
Yep.
He's got guys on guys on guys. Okay, guy goes down. Yeah, we got a plan for that.
Exactly.
He went down too. That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. We got a guy for that.
No,
That ain't no problem.
And that's why I like the Chad Bettis signing because, like, you know, you can never have too much pitching, man.
Yeah.
You got to be ready. And Chad Bettis, you know, it's a low key sign.
Experience.
Exactly.
He's a guy with major league experience, and he's got some Colorado Rocky former teammates on his team.
DJ.
Come on over. It makes
Ottavino.
perfect sense. Denver to NYC.
Yep.
Definitely. And you know, man, it's crazy the hype surrounding spring training right now because fans apparently were they gave Cole a standing ovation.
Yeah, they're showing up.
Cole was like, "Yeah, I'll tell you what, man," and I'm real giddy, you know, for my this first time, you know, it felt like real like different. I've never gotten a standing ovation for my live BP before ever. Wow.
Yankee
That's how you guys do it over here?
Geeked up. What I say when I came in, I said to y'all, I was like, yo, we haven't had an ace like this since CeCe.
Right.
Yeah.
So that energy right now, people are like, yo, we got an ace. We got a real star.
14 pitches, 4 strikeouts. And I get it. It's spring training, whatever.
Word. Who he struck
I
out
don't
though?
care.
Who he struck out though? It's just we're not looking at names, you know, but who he struck out?
I'm going to tell you right now,
know.
man,
Maybe a coach.
I don't care if it's spring training.
It looked like
I'm
Mike
here
Ford
to
was
tell
one.
you right now, we don't care.
Okay.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
All right, Jeff. All right.
He
I
struck out
understand.
Meredith.
We don't care.
He checked
You're right.
Meredith.
Count it.
You're right. It doesn't matter. You're right. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all. But that's the sounds. Everything is going on right now. And you know that Britain video that he's he has the mic on him.
Clowning.
They just having fun. All this noise going around, man. Our guys, they just having fun. Man.
Tommy
Yeah.
Canely, Britton, even Swisher, man. Everything I see
I love
of Nick
Swish, man. I love
Swisher
Swish.
makes me want to go to spring training because he's having a blast.
Yeah.
Everything he does is fun.
You know, Yankee spring training feels like its own bubble from what the hell else is happening with major leagues.
Right.
Because the Yankees are like, they talked about the Astros shit, which we'll get into later on because cheaters, right, Chris? It's just part of it.
It's growing.
It's just the freaking chia pet just keeps growing. Every time you just keep mowing down that chia pet, it just keeps growing. But it just feels like the Yankees are like in their own bubble. Am I the only one that feels that way? Like they're
Different,
just
B.
like,
It's different over here, B. It's
they're just protecting their energy. They're like, all right, whatever, it's fine. We talked about it, which there were some comments and some funny comments from some people, and I was really excited, and I just love little quotables that hop out. You know what I mean? From Tanaka coming out and he's saying, "Oh no, I ain't got no restrictions, bro." Like he had that surgery. He's like, "I ain't got no restrictions. I'm ready to go." And he looks good. You know, I think I heard Jomboy say that. He's like, "Man, Tanaka's a really handsome Japanese man. Like we should all aspire to be as handsome a Japanese man as he is."
Well, that's what Britton said. In the thing, he was like, "Your hair didn't move when you were running."
Oh yeah, they were running. It's like, "Yo, Tanaka, I was watching you the whole time when we were jogging. Your hair did not move. How do you do that?" That's the Dominican in them.
Yeah,
you know that, right? That shit, those little things. What are they talking about? That's the Dominican in them.
What are you talking about? Now, talking about luxurious hair, me and Joe back in the day, we used to always talk about how Matsui's hair when he takes off his helmet.
Bro, he'll take off his Matsui. I used to be like, yeah, it's like everybody take like some people is like, yo, it's like they gotta brush their shit again. I got naps. Yo, Matsui is like he'll take off his hair, he'll just run it like one hand through it, perfect.
Perfect hair, baby.
Like a cartoon.
Nothing.
And if like one hair is like out of its place, Matsui would just look at it and it'll be like, "I'm sorry, I apologize. I apologize, Matsui," and it'll just get into the right place. It's
standing formation.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, let's just get right.
That was hilarious, B. But overall, man, it looks like everybody's having fun. And one of the aside from Cole, right, one of the things that stood out to me at least is Gary Sanchez's new stance.
Oh, well, even before that, speaking of funny shit, Gary Sanchez was talking and, he was like, "Well, I think, if we cheated, I kind of feel like, I feel like maybe knowing the pitches that are coming is a little bit of an advantage. I don't know." And then they were talking about like, "Oh, with Altuve, do you think that there's a buzzer and all that shit?" And he's like, I can already imagine in Spanish. And I was looking for the audio. Guys, if you guys have audio out there for Gary Sanchez.
I didn't find the audio.
I was looking.
Or video.
Because I know that the way that it was translated is not the way he said it in Dominican Spanish, okay?
Exactly.
I know that. Because I hear Marlon Abreu, and sometimes he cleans up a little bit of his speech. He's like, "Yo."
A little?
Yeah, just a little bit. Like Gary Sanchez will say something like off the rip. And
I feel like it was a different guy, though.
What? I seen Marlon Abreu.
But in the conference, I don't think it was him. I think it was somebody else.
It was I'm not sure, but it was a clip before all the other clips came out with him talking at spring training.
It's on the Yankees video, SNY or whatever.
One of the reporters just typed it up. We didn't find the video or see the clip.
Exactly.
Yeah, they typed it up, yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, bro, man, I don't know." He told him not to rip the shirt off, but I'll tell you what, man, I send us into the World Series with a walk-off home run. You could rip my pants off.
Los pantalones, adios.
Tú me puedes quitar los pantalones. It's just what it is. I can already imagine him saying that. He's like, "Bro, you can take off anything." We're going in the World Series, man.
We'll dive into that whole crap, man. But yeah, these guys, and even the way that Sanchez answered that and how everybody's answering, they just relax, man.
Yeah, they just like chill. It's all good, man, and. But speaking of Cashman, speaking of Sanchez, there's this new, there's Tanner Swanson working with him and all of that stuff. And he's saying that he's been working on a new stance with Gary Sanchez. Now he has a knee to the ground. It's basically designed so that he can be able to frame these pitches lower.
Right.
And he can be able to steal strikes, which is what some people say. "Oh, you don't steal enough strikes, man. You don't steal the strikes." So apparently there's a stat for that, and I don't know any about that shit. But he did say something. They asked him questions about it in the interview, but I don't know if you have that there, Chris. But
regarding the robot umps?
Well, yeah, because in spring training, they're supposed to be trialing the robot umps. I think it's coming to baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody asked him, "You're spending all of this time with Gary now, learning how to frame pitches. What are you gonna do when he's like about the when the robot ump's like, what are you gonna frame for a robot ump for?" It's like,
now the
does not compute.
It says it changes the equation definitely. I think it becomes a block centric position.
Okay.
From a catching standpoint, I hope that doesn't happen personally. I think there's a lot of compounding things that come about that maybe haven't been that haven't even been considered as an effect. I don't think those trends will relatively stay the same. I'm not convinced that these positions that we're in, I don't know if I do anything different. I try to evolve and adapt and try to figure out how we can optimize whatever we can control, which will be balls in the dirt and throwing out runners. I don't know if this would fit or got it. Thank you, Mark. They will fit, or if we have to make more adaptations. But I think we're getting closer to understanding what is an optimal blocking position. But it will definitely change the landscape.
Win the World Series before they start changing shit.
Yeah, right away. Just go ahead. Let's just win it all this year. But the important part is the habits, bro. Just work on these little habits, these, discipline your disappointments and what everybody's so upset about and stuff like that. And go ahead and just, I think Gary Sanchez is going to really come into his own defensively this year.
Yeah, I think so, man.
They said that he worked on his flexibility a lot this spring. Not this spring, but, in the offseason and shit like that.
Yeah.
So
Roman's gone. Gary's ready to shut the haters up.
Yeah, he's ready.
There's no Roman for y'all to say, put him in over me.
But we know what Sanchez could do, but he has to stay healthy. So hopefully the flexibility, obviously him flexing
that's
is
key.
gonna.
That's number one.
Now, Marvin hooked us up with the Sanchez interview. You wanna play it?
what? How long is it?
2 minutes and 47 seconds. We could play like the first.
Run it and try and catch the Pantalones.
Yeah.
Was it the Panta? Which one is it? Which one is?
This is when the.
It is Marlon Abreu.
I'd be more. Yeah, that one. I was talking about the other one.
Told you guys.
I'd be more successful.
right.
Stop.
Oh, sorry. About that.
Yeah.
Well, this is the one where he said I'd be more successful too if I knew pitches.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right, let's do it. Don't.
Como sabe, puede hacer, pero cuando tú sabes lo que viene, yo como bateador, el chance es más alto de poner la bola en juego que cuando uno no sabe. Pero nada, muchos videos que salieron y eso, puede hacer.
I mean, what can I say? For me as a hitter, if I know what's coming, you have a higher chance of being more successful at the plate. So maybe, yeah.
Bueno, nosotros siempre tenemos tremendo sistema para eso, para ocultar la seña. Pero la liga hizo su investigación y ahora mismo uno de los únicos equipos que estaba haciendo eso eran ellos. La verdad no sé si otro equipo estaba haciendo eso.
I don't know. It's hard to say. The league, they did their investigation, and up until today, they are the only team that has been found guilty of it, right? At the same time, we had a really good system in place to protect our signs. We thought, but we'll see.
Ya pertenece al equipo nosotros, ya pasó, ya hicieron su investigación.
Yeah, I don't think it's this one that he.
Yeah, it wasn't, but it's still, he's talking about that. But basically, with Gary, I love Marlon Abreu, and he does a really good job and the best job available and all of that stuff. But
Marlon, what's always funny to me is that they translated, like they said it, like with the faces and the they make because.
yeah,
Because it's kind of just, this whole thing is getting to like how much can you ask these guys the same questions about the same team cheating 2 years ago, last year, whatever. It's just stupid. We're all involved in this clown show circus, and it's not going away. I said I think on the podcast last week, I tweeted, I'm like, I've already come to terms with the fact that we're going to be talking about the Astros every week of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And the players, too. They've already, they've asked everybody questions about it. And here's a point I'll make. I actually like what Garrett Cole had to say, and this is the difference between Astros PR and our PR. And I don't want to get too far in Astros because we're going to do that anyway. But they asked Garrett Cole, Garrett, what'd you see? What happened with the Astros? He said, I don't know anything. Therefore, I didn't see anything, and I can't tell you anything. Mm-hmm. Perfect answer, Yankees PR team. Now, the Astros, right, they put these guys in front of mics, and their owner says, well, as far as we're concerned, it didn't affect the game. We won that World Series, and that's that. Whoa, that wasn't what you were supposed to say.
You was not supposed to say that, sir.
Wait, Correa stepping in front of the mic, dropping F-bombs. This is for the kids.
Right.
All right, back to our regular scheduled Yankee programming.
Well, talking about Houston, no, but it's ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure that the Yankees basically they're just tired of answering.
Yeah, and I think everybody's happy to be in Yankee camp. You know, I mean, Cole is super happy. He's talking about, man, my favorite person to definitely learn from, and is Masahiro Tanaka. That he looks at him as a
His
different,
poise.
exactly
Tanaka-san.
poise. His differing styles. He says he wants to learn from him. How coming all the way from Japan, coming over here and taking that. And
But you got to look at it from this perspective. This man has signed a $300 million check.
Yeah,
Basically, one of the best pitchers in baseball.
for the next
Right.
decade with us.
And he's looking at Tanaka like, yeah, I want to learn from him. That's how you separate greatness from
respect
anything
with the
else.
two
That's how
in
you
it.
separate great from the good from the great. That guy wants to get so much better. He's like, listen, I know I was runner up for Cy Young and whatever, but Tanaka, I want to learn from him. Sevy, whatever I could learn from him, I'm gonna learn from him. Gator, he's in camp. Let me see what he has to say.
What's up, yo?
Yo, I love it, man.
Yeah,
There's a
man.
new energy in Yankee
It's-
camp.
I'm
And
telling you.
Garrett Cole is the icing on the cake. There's a new
telling
training
you.
staff, new pitching coach, Matt Blake, Tanner Swanson. Like, all of these guys are bringing a new energy that wasn't there before, and Garrett Cole is the icing on the cake. When you hear him speak, when you see him throw, when you see how he's interacting with guys, it's like he's not wasting any time.
Word.
And the Yankees aren't wasting any time. We know exactly what time it is. I can't wait to go to spring training and physically see it because everything that we're seeing from even reporters, Jack Curry's like, I've been doing this for years and it doesn't get old, and he's hype about what he's seeing this year. Meredith, all of them. Brian Hope getting down there early, giving us his little peeks on Instagram and Twitter because there's a different vibe. You know the vibes.
But even Paxton's mustache is a different vibe. That shit is crazy. I
crept up with
kind of
the-
like it.
Mustache
He crept up
James.
with the I'm not playing for 3 months mustache.
Well, he looks like he's about to just hop out of one of those green tubes and say, the brothers. Straight Super Mario, man.
Mario, Luigi, and James. The third brother. The third brother.
Sevy's hype also, and
Everybody, man.
everybody's hype, and I just like the energy. It looks like the pitchers are going to be feeding from each other. I think Cole is a perfect guy to have for a guy like Sevy to learn from.
Yeah.
Like a dude that's kind of like still just a little bit older than him, but kind of has that potential to become that eventually. Because I still
Man.
think Severino has development.
But you look at Sevy, Sevy in his mind, he's the ace.
Yeah,
You know
But that's how you
and
that's how
gonna
you gotta
make
look at
Sevy
it.
better.
Exactly.
He's gonna raise his level.
You want somebody you could compete with, bro.
Competition.
Facts.
Exactly. It's like, oh yeah, you did that.
All right, cool.
Yo.
8 innings, 10 Ks. Bet.
But
Perfect game.
I only allowed 2 hits, so I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but I only allowed 2
It's
hits.
friendly
bro.
competition.
Now that we know about the Astros cheating, what I did against them ain't even valid anymore. So like, I'm good out here.
Yeah,
yo.
it's all
good.
good.
The one forgotten man in our rotation who did get some light and people were talking about this week, James Anthony Happ.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Guys,
If you listen to the last episode,
I told you, man. Listen, it's as it happens. Okay, the last podcast is exactly what I said. That conversation, Hap was like calling Cashford, like seeing these rumors, like, hey, am I still on the team? And guys, this is exactly how it happened. So I'm not gonna reenact it again, but I did it the last time, so
It's crazy because
I'm convinced that's exactly how it happened. It's crazy.
it's like you knew. It's like you heard the phone call in your head. And now here we are, and it makes perfect sense that Happ is on this team, right? He used to be throwing partners with Garrett Cole in Pittsburgh. So that also makes Garrett Cole feel right at home. Hey, we used to do this in Pittsburgh spring training, old
Yeah.
pal. Hey, how's it going? They're like, good. He's good for something. He's good for something.
He's good for something.
We kept him around.
He said he made
Paxton-
some adjustments from last year too.
Yeah, he said he watched. Good.
for in the second half he was pretty he was much better, but he's saying that he made some adjustments.
I like adjustments,
Yeah.
especially when good results follow it up. So
Yeah. So let's let's hope for great things from Hap because we need him
We
here.
need him. With Paxton going down, us keeping Hap looks like a genius move again by the Yankees.
Yup.
And he even flexed and took Greg Bird's number this year. He said 33.
Yeah.
Give me Larry Bird.
Give me 33.
The drama king is in the building.
Ain't that Scottie Pippen's number 2? Yeah. Ain't that Scotty's number 2?
Yes, sir. All-star,
33.
Chicago.
Yeah, man. But Bird couldn't fly with that number too long, so
Yeah.
let's give it a Hap.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, some numbers change and stuff like that, which I don't want to get into that because there's some people at first, even right before we started this podcast, I thought that they gave away A-Rod's number and then it ended up being a typo. It wasn't A-Rod's number. I feel bad for the kid because everybody's like, whoa, what the hell? Some people are like, A-Rod's a cheater. Give that shit away.
Listen, there's just certain numbers that you really got to come with it.
Yeah, you
know what I
can't
mean?
just
You
stroll
can't
into
just,
spring
21,
training.
Like 21, you have to come with it.
A-Rod buys the Mets, though. You give that shit away.
Yeah.
If A-Rod buys the Mets,
the 13
Give
is
that shit
available.
away right there.
let whoever take 13 that wants it.
Yeah, take that shit.
It was a typo. They were definitely trolling A-Rod. I see the humor in it. I see the humor in it.
But am I the only one that gets when you hear pitchers and catchers and people playing catch outside, and you're like, you start wanting to grab a glove and shit and just be like, yo,
Yeah,
man.
except we live in New York and it was 20 degrees.
Be outside in the cold and shit with a hoodie and shit.
It was 30 degrees the other day.
Getting sick?
Yeah. I'm sniffling. I
With
got
Tim's, you're like,
runny
I
nose.
said running with Tim trying to
with
catch fly
Tim's,
balls and
you're
shit.
like, oh. Scully's.
But we getting there, man. Every day that passes is a day closer.
Facts.
We working, we building, we getting there. It's just spring training for us too. I said that when we came in here. I'm like, us coming into the studio, figuring out where to put the lights, where to wire this up, how to set this up. Hey, we're practicing and getting ready for the season too. Everybody needs spring training, from the players to the journalists to the podcasters to the video editors. So TikTok, man.
Because the journalists definitely have stories now. They have things to talk about instead of creating stories.
Hop over the dog shit also, guys, with the while you're playing catch in the Bronx, guys, in the park. With some Timbs on.
Yeah, people don't pick up after their dog. They don't
Painting a
curb,
vivid
they don't
picture
curb
for you,
their
Al.
dog. So yeah, be careful with that. Now, guys, it looks like that's the Yankee news right now, man.
Yeah, position players report tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure. They've been changing the dates. But once the position players get into camp, then it's fully on. Workouts start. And
You know, Judge is probably gonna say something.
Let me see what this
Judge, that mic is going to be hot after what Cody had to say.
Oh,
That mic, they were waiting. People are literally waiting for what Judge is going to say.
What do you think about Cody Bellinger's remarks and statement that you were robbed? Well,
yo, Eric. By the way, guys, Eric Cressy been going in. I don't know if we touched on that, but
On Twitter?
what Cressy said.
no, apparently, right before, and I just seen this right now. So my bad, Chris. He said when the Yankees hired him in January to oversee the club's strength and conditioning program, because we of course promoted Stevie to emeritus. Through the several players, he just contacted everybody, just started talking Miguel Andujar, Michael King, Montgomery, Ottavino, Sanchez, Severinos, to name a few. And he basically called all of them, and he basically talked to them, their biomechanics and all of this shit. How does that conversation work with Sanchez? It's like, look, just tell me what the hell I've got to do, bro. He basically was telling people how to eliminate good movement and bad movement. There's some bad movements that can lead to more injuries that he observed, and he was letting them know stuff that they never heard before, kind of thing, and they were kind of blown away from it.
So Eric Cressy said local.
It's better than what we had, which was
Word.
just put some ice on it.
King said he does it a lot faster than the average person would. I think they would do a really good job at making it easy for us to understand.
Awesome.
So that's good, bro, because it's it's kind of not only about having the information, even with analytics, but kind of how you going to put that shit into English
How
for
do you
me,
implement
bro?
it? How you break it down.
For real, make my alphabet soup make sense. Because it's you looking at the words, the letters and shit. I don't see any words in there, but it's
What the fuck does that mean? the fuck is that?
What is that?
What is that?
What is that? But
we gotta get that drop.
yeah, we gotta get
that's
that
a
drop.
What is that? Guys, we really don't want to talk about this, but we're going to have to for like the 4th episode in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time for your weekly
Cheaters.
Hey, and has some drama once again because the Astros just have no way of getting out of their own way, and they just keep. It's like they're like removing, like they have a prosthetic leg and they're like kicking their own selves in the ass kind of thing. Can you just imagine that shit?
What?
And it's like, bro, it's like
that is so wild.
What are you doing? Or you're Mr. Fantastic, you make your leg like mad long, like you just start kicking yourself. Like, bro, what are you doing,
They're digging themselves a deeper hole, and that's the problem, right? They got caught, right? And they had an opportunity. They had multiple. They had Fan Fest where they could have got in front of the mics.
They fucked that
and
up.
made it a little bit better.
Yep.
That's the L.
Yeah.
They had the spring training apology that they even roped off their facility the first day of spring training and took a whole day.
That was a bad job.
Just to prepare.
That was a bad job.
Just to prepare all day. We're going to prep these guys. We're going to coach these guys. We're going to get these guys ready to talk to the media. We're closed today. They said spring training was closed on the first day so they could prepare, and they still didn't execute it right. That's sad. This is a professional team.
That's so wild, man. $1 billion team.
The problem is that in this week, you've seen where the problem is. All right? Yeah, the players doing all of this stuff and shenanigans and tomfooleries. They're saying stupid shit. But their owner is like,
stumbling, mumbling.
Bro, what are you doing?
Starts at the top.
Yo, what the fuck? Where's the leadership? Like, nobody's taking accountability. Nobody's using the words like we cheated. People were trying to like isolate it to only the just that one 2017.
They're dancing around and hiding behind the commissioner's report.
Oh my God, what a joke.
Listen, I don't even think we should play that Jim Crane video, but
I'm gonna play that shit.
You can run it.
You want to play it?
I'm gonna play that shit.
Yeah, that quote has been run 1,000 times an hour since he said it.
Bro,
I mean, I got it.
If you got it, run it, because he about dumb as shit for this one.
Yeah.
Didn't impact the game. We had a good team.
Give me some what?
We won the World Series, and we'll leave it at that.
Wait, hold on.
You was cheating. You should have let that rock. You have to let that rock.
My
you have
sound
to let that rock.
my
I don't know
sound
how
bite
you,
from
how you
last
don't
week.
do that. You gotta let that rock.
Run it back.
Run
that shit back.
Let's
Turbo.
run it back. Run it back, Turbo.
This didn't impact the game. We had a good team. We won the World Series, and we'll leave it at that.
You was cheating for the last 3 years. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Yo, facts.
Straight up.
Facts Kellerman.
Bro, he said it didn't impact the game.
How the fuck? And Cashman's like, to me, Cashman's like, yo, why would you do it kind of thing? Obviously, it impacted the game. How the hell are you going to see?
Why else would they be doing it?
And then they ask him after this, and he's like, they asked him after this, oh, did you say that? I'm sorry. Somebody in they're like, excuse me. Like, they were dumbfounded by hearing the comment. They're like, I got a question here in the first row. Hold on, guys, are you saying that against the Yankees, I just want to clarify here, I'm so sorry because this can't be it. It can't be that stupid, right, sir? But, all right, so listen, I'm just going to rephrase it. You're not saying that this didn't impact the game, right? That the sign stealing didn't impact the game?
Who, me?
He's like,
I mean,
I didn't say it.
I didn't say that.
It's like, yo, run. Yes, you did. Run it back. We all heard you. This is live.
I have it in recording.
This is a live press conference.
Got it recorded right here, actually. Yeah, so is this you literally a couple of seconds ago saying this, or did I just make this up, or what? Go ahead, Chris. Was this me, or can you play this for me, Chris? Thanks.
Didn't impact the game. We had a good team.
Well, I said that, but you know what
the game.
What I meant was that it didn't impact the game, like the game.
Xbox.
Like,
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here, nigga!
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
I mean, you know what I mean, right?
I mean, Listen, he basically saying all you motherfuckers are dumb, stupid people.
I felt
that no matter what I say, you're gonna believe it.
Houston, Texas.
I felt attacked.
I personally felt attacked, and I think I'm gonna sue.
some people are suing. Yo, this shit is wild to me. It's like it's almost like you're disrespecting our intelligence as baseball fans.
Oh, absolutely. Insulting everyone's intelligence and thinking these two things, right? We got away with it, and that's why they're still flexing, because they still are claiming to be the world champs from 2017. They paraded around, they danced around, and now, right? They're standing in front of people they're still saying that they won the World Series fair and square. They're like defending it.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Okay.
Yeah. So,
and you know, I tweeted, I'm like, imagine being Howe and Cashman, like, because you know they've been saying, yeah, you know, it happened. Let's move on. Let's look.
They keep bringing shit up.
Exactly my point. Like let's look forward to the 2020 season. And then it's like, no, that didn't impact the game. And then I could just hear Cashman. Obviously, we're going to play Cashman's press conference here or interview. And it's just, it's stupid. He must be so freaking, like, angry.
The thing is,
behind closed doors.
It's just tone deaf, bro.
Right. The whole world is watching. You can't pretend. You can't lie. It's 2020. All of this stuff is on camera. And there are people digging and researching now, right? Correa made this whole thing worse yesterday.
At first, we were giving him credit because I thought that, and before we get into Correa, they put Altuve and they put Bregman up there for like what, a good like 20, 30 seconds and whatnot, and they were talking, you know, apologizing and all that stuff, and that was a fucking a shit show too, because it was like
Bregman. I mean, the pause in between words, it was just.
Oh, Bregman looked shook up there. He looked like he's seen a ghost up there. And then Altuve really didn't directly apologize. He's like, you know, we made a mistake. Sorry to our fans. Like he apologized to the Astros fans, and basically they were trying to say, like, they're trying to move on. No, you don't get to move on until we say you can move on. Like, this is not done. They were just, you know, trying to move on and get into the season. I will say that when they went from outside to inside, the locker room interviews were a little more sincere.
A little better.
And they seemed a little more apologetic. They seemed a little more remorseful. But then, man, Captain Correa unraveled all of that yesterday with Ken Rosenthal.
Go ahead, listen to this. This is Bregman, by the way, guys.
I am really sorry about the choices that were made by my team, by the organization, and by me. I have learned from this, and I hope to regain the trust of baseball fans.
He basically... God, he's basically, bro, they out there copping, please. That's how you sound, bro.
Bro, and there was a point that the paper flew away. Bregman's paper flew away.
That was great. It was like, yo, they can't do anything right. Nobody wants this press conference to go right. It did not go smooth, and they're just fumbling the ball.
No, they were asking a few people regarding, if the cheating did have an impact in the game, and Cashman spoke on it. You guys ready? You guys ready to hear some Brian Cashman?
Always. Let's go, Cash. You rule everything around us.
I definitely think it had an effect on things without question. We were, certainly the Houston Astros were dealing with a distinct advantage more so than their opponents. That's a fact. So I don't think anybody can disagree with that, even though they may try. This is a warning to anybody that's doing anything in any arena that's wrong, that the truth usually always comes out.
Talking shit,
so
Cash.
You've got to keep that in mind. If people are doing stuff that are wrong or against the rules or whatever, there are no secrets. That usually comes out.
Ain't no fucking secrets.
It's only so long fake
thugs can
pretend.
I have a hard time, believing in terms of just the person and how he's being portrayed. It doesn't mean that, I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong. Clearly, obviously, if the commissioner's report speaks for itself. But in terms of somebody that was forcing people to do this, that, or the other thing, I have a hard time buying that.
Yeah.
That's not the person that I knew as a player, and that wasn't the person that I knew as our special advisor. I mean, he was
Tried to pin it on
might have been
Los.
wrapped up clearly wrapped up in something that wasn't good and healthy and was wrong. But in terms of being an individual that was forcing people to do things that they didn't want to do.
He's a grown man.
That's not the Carlos Beltran I know at all. It's an unhealthy dynamic for our game to be dealing with, and looking forward to getting back to normal, despite the frustrations of what occurred back in 2017 at the very least. And but ultimately, that was then. This is now, and we have an exciting opportunity with the personnel we have here, and trying to keep the focus on what's ahead of us rather than what's in our past.
Let's go. Good shit, Cash. Talk your shit. Talk your shit, Cash. That was the nice subdued media version. Behind closed doors, you're like, yo, these fucking dudes is telling me y'all ain't cheat? This ain't make a difference? Fuck out of here. Why you did it? How you did it?
Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Get the fuck out of here, nigga.
Exactly.
Why else would they do it? For analytics?
Exactly.
For fun? No, they had a tremendous edge, and they used that edge to win a World Series. They were drunk off of the way they were winning, and they're still drunk off that fake World Series. That's why they're acting like they're acting in the media. Yo, if Carlos Correa comes out and breaks down 7 or what was it? How many games did they win the World Series in? Was it 7 against the Dodgers? I think he broke down all 6 or 7 games.
That's nice.
Correa, you didn't win it fair and square. Break down the Yankees ALCS. Show me how you won that fair and square. This dude is so big. He's so tough now.
Obviously, it's not just Cashman. Executives, everybody's pissed. At the lack of a punishment handed down by the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred. Players are disappointed. I mean, we could listen to Cody Bellinger right now if you guys are ready for that.
Yeah, I mean the outcrying around
the
the
NL
league.
MVP who stood up. That's the NL MVP.
See, and I want to before I play the Cody Bellinger. Listen, man. Basketball they have LeBron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Football, who's like the big face of football?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Right?
Pat Mahomes.
Right, Pat Mahomes. The big face of baseball. Who can we say it is right now? Trout.
Trout is in division with these dudes, and he's in South Jersey. Like, I'm not talking.
And I get it, man.
Got nothing to do with me.
And I get it, but listen, they're in your division, Trout. Like you're the supposed face of baseball. You're the $400 million man. I'm not saying you have to, but it'll be nice to hear from you. You know what I mean? Because
we'll see. We'll see when. There's some people that haven't reported to spring training yet.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying.
Everybody's
let
gonna
them
get
report.
asked. Everybody's gonna get asked about these dudes, and they didn't make it any easier for themselves.
There's only so much shit you could talk if your team isn't like.
No, I'm just saying. Because they always say and your team, of course, but it's still, you know what I mean? Like they always say that, Troy doesn't get he doesn't get put out there or anything like that or whatever. But I'm saying
I feel bad for Dusty Baker, bro. I feel like, first of all, I like him as a manager, and I feel like he's put in a tough spot, bro. Because then he's up there in this press conference, like. He's like, yo, bro, I ain't got nothing to do with this shit, bro. Like, why am I here? Like, I didn't tell these dudes to do this shit. Like,
I don't feel bad for Dusty.
Comes with the territory.
I
You
don't
knew what
feel
job
bad.
you were taking.
I do.
Exactly.
You knew exactly what job you were taking. You're gonna align yourself with these crooks, and you're with these crooks, and whatever comes their way comes your way.
See, the thing about him is there's only 30 of these jobs, right? And dude has been trying to get in the league for a while. It's not like he hasn't.
Of course.
So I can't blame him if a job comes up with the Astros. It's like, all right, I could do this. I could sit on my ass at home and not do anything. So it's like, I'm gonna take that because I'm
not hating on him trying to get back into the game.
Yeah,
he's also a brother. Black History Month. I'm with it.
Yeah.
What I'm hating on is him coming out and asking for Manfred to do something.
That's what we got to do
before we get into the season to basically deter people from throwing at the Astros.
Nah, man.
You gonna get what you gonna get.
That's it.
Listen,
it's over.
The league will police itself. It's already begun.
Yes.
It's already begun.
Yes,
the internet,
you're right.
The internet is running wild. My video that I made after I saw the I literally watched the Correa interview twice yesterday. And by the second time I was done watching, I'm like, I got to chop this up and make fun of this dude. Like, his high-pitched voice, him looking at the camera WWE style, like telling Cody Bellinger to shut the F up. And then at the end, him defending Altuve saying he didn't cheat. Bruh. He had a bad tattoo. Don't lie.
Well,
don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. He had a bad tattoo. That's why he didn't want to take his jersey off. There are people that are pissed off about this.
Well,
the Dodgers, the Yankees,
fans,
my God. Everybody is running with this right now.
There's so much going on, man.
But before because there's things. These things happen in segments, right? So they had their press conference, and then after that, the players, like you said, in their, in the locker room, they spoke, whatever. Josh Reddick was like, I ain't got to apologize to anybody, whatever, fuck you. And then,
all right, guy.
And then they also had Marwin Gonzalez, who's with the Twins, had a great, I thought he had the best one. If we're rating them, he had the best one.
Props to him.
Props to him. He stood up there. He took responsibility. He dead up said, bro, but, I'm trying to win. So, if they show me some things that I think, whatever, I'm trying to win.
Now in the Cashman questioning, he talked about Beltran and how they asked Beltran, and Beltran said, I don't know anything.
Yeah, he basically didn't tell him shit.
Now, Maven, though, because everybody knows Cameron Maven was part of the Yankees last
Back with the
season.
Tigers officially now.
Right. He was with the Houston Astros in 2017 when he won the ring. He said something. He's like, yo, they might be doing some shit over there in 2019. So, you know what I mean? Like, what can you do?
We had an informant. We had a guy that was on the inside in 2017, joined this team in 2019, and then as we went to face these clowns again, he gave us some inside intel, tipped us off. And I'm sure from the way that the Yankees were pursuing all this, we knew, the whole league knew there was chatter, and now that, man, the cat is out. And
Manfred looks really bad in this shit. He looks like a
terrible.
fucking...
He's on right now, or he was. He was live streaming the same time we're live streaming.
The players are not happy about this.
Except the higher ups.
Everybody's upset.
Owners, yep.
Owners, executives. It's not just like people think like it's only a Yankee thing. Like, no, it's not. It's everybody, right? And we got some from Bellinger, which I gotta props to him for fucking just
Shout out to
I love to hear the most prominent players just come up and talk about this. Yeah. So go ahead, play.
Some Yankee connection. His father used to play for the Yankees.
Yes.
Let's go.
The apologies were whatever. I thought Jim Crane's was weak. I thought Manfred's punishment was weak, giving him immunity. These guys were cheating for 3 years.
Bars.
I think what people don't realize is Altuve stole an MVP from Judge in 17.
Say that.
Everyone knows they stole the ring from us. I know personally I lost respect for those guys. I think I would say everyone in the show, in the big leagues, lost respect for those guys. I don't know what human hits a walk-off home run against Aroldis Chapman to send your team to the World Series. And one has the thought to say, don't rip my jersey off, but two, go in the tunnel, change your shirt, and then come out and do your interview. Like that, it makes no sense to me.
He's shy.
It makes zero sense to me because I know me. Gary Sanchez said yesterday, you can rip my shirt off, my pants off. I sent my team the World Series off for Aroldis Chapman in the ninth inning at home. You can do, I'm going crazy.
Bomba, 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 mi hermano.
Got my MVP vote.
He's not the only one.
He literally became one of my favorite non-Yankees to be in this.
I mean, I've been...
They're selling his jersey like wildfire right now.
I've been a Bellinger fan for a while. Lefty, first base, outfielder, future Yankee. Let's go.
I wonder if it'll be better if I just play it through here, Chris, through my side, because it's only sounding on the left.
Door.
Run it.
All right, hold on.
So this is Chris Bryant.
Another prominent player. Cubs, though.
A lot of the apology yesterday was a lot about 2017. It's like, I'm pretty sure it was going on in 2018, 2019 too. Like, and that's just so sad because it's like, just because if they didn't get caught, they'd still be doing it. And, you know, they're only doing this apology because they got caught, and I mean, there's a lot of feelings on it, and I know everybody around the league is really upset, and rightfully so, because it's really a disgrace to the game. This is people's livelihoods too that they're messing with. Like, guys have never pitched in games since then. Guys have won awards that maybe they shouldn't have won. Who knows? I mean, yeah, there's certainly talented ball players, but you know, I personally think it's worse than steroids. I really do. I mean, it's steroids. You still have to compete and hit the ball. You know it's coming. I mean, off of these pitchers, like guys throwing, you know, upper 90s with really good curveballs and sliders, and you can totally formulate a unbelievable game plan based on certain things if you know what they're coming. Like, it's frustrating, and I mean they're gonna have a tough year this year for sure. I mean, I got booed really loud in St. Louis, and they're gonna get everywhere.
Yeah, that
they
was
go,
nothing.
rightfully so.
That was light. That was something light.
Love that.
Thanks,
I
KD.
love hearing players talk
Big
the
name
shit,
players.
bro.
Big name players.
And then Correa was fine until he started to take offense to other players, so his peers coming out and talking shit. But motherfucker, what the hell else did you think was going to happen when you guys were doing this? And then Correa has the audacity to then call out people. And oh my God, yo, do you have Correa sound?
I got one of them.
Please.
This is one of many, obviously.
One of many.
Wait, let me increase the volume here.
From his interview yesterday with Ken Rosenthal.
Doesn't sit well with me, and it's when you say false statements. If you don't know the facts, if you're not informed, this is America, Ken. You can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. But Cody Bellinger's job is to look for information, get informed, know the facts for sure before he stands in front of cameras to talk about other players. You should get informed. You should be informed before you talk about other players. If you don't know the facts, then you gotta shut the
Whoa,
What doesn't sit well with me is when you
Whoa. There's kids watching this.
Fuck out of here with that shit. Okay.
What?
When did he become so tough? I think Cody Bellinger probably whoops Correa's ass. If it ever really got to like them squaring up, Cody Bellinger probably whoop his ass.
Listen.
Don't let Altuve get you in trouble trying to defend your man.
I tell you what.
Yu Darvish came out.
I know your feelings are hurt, but
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
We don't care.
we don't give a shit about your feelings right now, B. You can't come out, and then he comes out and he says, oh, the commissioner's report, and he's talking to Ken Rosenthal, the commissioner report says 2017, the trash banging. 2018, nothing. 2019, nothing.
Hiding
You should be informed. And the commissioner's report is like, and then Ken's like, excuse me. Sorry, Car. Gotta bring this up. But the commissioner's report actually does say that you guys did something in 2018. He's like, well, nothing that I know. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't know how he's like, I'm in the locker room. I know. He's like, oh, you know what, Carlos? If I know and the commissioner knows, you're talking about people being informed, talking shit. Maybe you should read the motherfucking commissioner's report.
He definitely didn't read it.
Didn't read it.
How are you going to give validity to something and use that as your backup point and then not read it, basically?
He didn't read it at all.
What are you doing, B?
He was drunk.
We got more sounds. We got more
Go
sounds
ahead.
from this guy.
Showed up to the facility drunk. This dude.
Anything? Do you think he should apologize for being a part of the 17 team and not stopping what happened?
Absolutely. You see the smile that he had when he got that ring at Minute Maid? Do you see when he was celebrating when we won the championship? He was part of the team. He didn't say anything
What's he
about
talking
it
about?
back
Mike
then.
Pearson.
He definitely should apologize as well. We all feel bad in this organization, man. We have to go through.
Too bad you got caught.
Through this process because of our wrongdoing back in 2017, man.
I mean, when you look back at it, bro, it's just terrible, man. It's not right for the game of baseball, the game that we grew up loving so much, the game that we show passion every single day. It's not right to know what's coming and to do what we did. We were wrong, and like I said before, we gotta own that. Whatever comes this year on the road from the fans, we gotta take that.
Yeah,
I got no problem with that because if they're gonna talk the facts. Those are the facts. The commissioner's office, they had the report. They said what they had to say about their investigation. But don't go out there and tell us that we cheated for 3 years when clearly the commissioner's report doesn't say that.
So this is what I talk about insulting the intelligence.
I'm going to hold you to that one.
You did not just say that.
It was just 1 year.
So they keep doing that, right?
Just 1 year.
Which is a problem with me. I don't know, guys. You guys let me know. Maybe I'm crazy, right? I don't know. You know, like, I don't know.
I am a clown. I am a clown.
Clown show.
It's a clown show.
Astros every time they step in front of mics.
Listen,
Circus.
What a clown.
If you have the most desired result as a major leaguer is what?
Championship, baby.
Right? Okay.
We World
Right.
Series champs.
I'm just asking questions.
We did it, baby.
I'm just asking questions, right? And you guys answer for me because people are thinking I'm just a Yankee guy, whatever. So you guys please tell me. So the most desired result is to win a championship, right?
You play the game to win.
Yes.
Hello.
So if you follow a process, you weren't reprimanded for it, 2017, right? Nobody was reprimanded in 2017, right? He keeps saying it was just 2018, nothing. 2019, nothing. It was just baseball players using their ability, right? Right? So he's saying that. At least that's his claim to fame with that. And you're going to go ahead and tell me that once you got your desired result, the very next year, would you stop? Would you stop?
Nope. No, they just started.
They did not fucking
better.
stop. When you got caught.
If it works, you keep going.
Bro,
they went from hiding in plain sight. That trash can banging is what hiding in plain sight is. Because if you're watching the broadcast, like they showed AJ Hinch on MLB Network, you can clearly hear the bang. But if you don't know what you're looking for, you think that bang is coming from anything in the stadium.
Right.
So then the next year and the year after that, they just advanced the cheating. They just went from trash can banging to something else. We haven't found it out yet. Right. It's not in the commissioner's report. But the system was still in place. The cameras, the cheating, the sign stealing was still in place. They just figured out a different way to translate it to the players.
Mm-hmm.
So, when they...
He said that was just a code breaker. The code breaker.
The dark art.
The dark art. It has nothing to do with me. We knew nothing about that. Shut the... Yo, it's like...
Making it worse.
Like you say, Keith, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining,
I'm insulted, bro. I'm insulted. I'm like,
whatever.
These Houston Astros people think they're the smartest people on earth. All right, we're going to cook up this next one, right? We won it fair and square. Altuve didn't cheat because everybody's on his ass about the buzzers. Oh, that tattoo that he got. Let's say it was the tattoo. Everybody's going to believe that.
Yeah. So
it's insulting.
That's bullshit. Listen,
on that shit.
When they invented the wheel and they realized, and people realized that you could get from point A to point B in minutes, you think they're going to stop? They're going to continue using the freaking wheel.
These guys, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about it, these guys got drunk off of the way that they were winning baseball games.
Bro, they were cocky.
They are still cocky. They
doing that
won
camera
that fake
bullshit.
World Series.
Doing that camera bullshit where like somebody hits a home run and they look like this.
Looking in the camera, right?
Bro,
carrying your bat to first base after someone probably tipped you off on what was coming. They got so drunk off of that 2017 World Series, that arrogance. They even made their hashtag last year, take it back. We're gonna take the trophy back. How are you so sure you're gonna take it back? Because we got the scheme.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got the edge. We're technologically and analytically more advanced than the rest of the league.
I mean,
Crooks.
there were a whole bunch of people around the league that spoke out.
Darvish.
Kenley Jansen said the Astros, worst thing.
D-Rob this week, a bunch of guys are talking about it. And didn't Manfred's report also say no players and no teams are to comment on this?
Yeah, no, you can't stop the players. They could say the teams or whatever it is, but it's like.
But even people from other sports
Jared Dudley
like
jumped on
yo.
top of Cody Bellinger stuff yesterday.
fam.
Called them out and said he's getting a Bellinger jersey. Like it's crossing.
Exactly.
It's crossing into other sports, and that's why I say there's no such publicity as bad publicity.
I got-
Us as baseball fans, the whole world is like, ooh,
I got-
this is intriguing.
I got
What's
Darvish.
going on?
I got Darvish stuff if you guys want to listen to it.
Yeah, run it.
All right, go ahead.
Talking about Bellinger, you know, I saw that yesterday, but so they cheat. I think they, so right now they don't have to talk. They shouldn't talk like that right now.
Yeah, just keep quiet. I mean, Kenley Jansen says worse than gambling. I don't know about that. Worse than steroids. I agree with that. And he says at least back then in steroid era, everyone had to be on steroids. It was a fair game, basically. I guess I don't know. And then Will Middlebrook says, let me get this straight. MLB will punish players who throw at Astros players for cheating, but refuse to punish players for cheating. Got it. I believe we've got this base awkward here. Okay.
Bass backwards is what he
I don't
said.
know what the fuck is he talking about.
Ass backwards.
He's basically like spelled out bass backwards because how
Ass
are you
backwards.
How are you gonna say? And that's what I think Manfred
shit.
was gonna
What
say
the hell?
today, or I thought he was gonna say
Ass.
today in
What the
his
fuck
in
would he
his
say, ass?
yeah. When you read it, it's like it's a joke on ass backwards. He typed it out ass backwards.
Yeah, bass
Joe's still
backwards.
confused.
I don't get it.
Yo, we gonna have to clip this video.
Sorry,
He's deep in thought. Like, oh.
Well, you know, moving forward, we do have Manfred. Thank you, Marvin.
Ass backwards.
We do have Manfred speaking. It's 1 minute and 55 seconds if you guys want to go all that, that long here.
This is live. This just happened.
Yeah, this just happened. You know, you got the breaking news here. Pinstripe strong, so let's do it.
Ass backwards.
About it. It was actually one of the, if you talk about minutes of discussion during the process, it was high in terms of the minutes that we spent talking about it. My thinking involves several points. First of all, it had never happened in baseball.
Okay.
And
That's one point.
I'm
Never
a
saw
precedent guy. I'm not saying you always follow precedent, but I think you ought to start by looking back at the way things have been done. And you have to have a really good reason to depart from that precedent.
Who did this before?
He's saying
number two,
they never stripped the World Series before.
I believed that the most fundamental obligation, I said this before, was to get the facts, put them out there, and let people make their own judgment as to what happened in the 2017 season,
Just then?
the 2017 World Series. If nothing else, I think we can all agree that we've gotten enough facts out there that plenty of people have made their judgments as to what went on. And once you have a situation in which the 2017 World Series will always be looked at as something different.
That's 2017.
Whether or not you put an asterisk or ask for the trophy back, it just, I don't think it makes that much difference. I think we did what we should do. That was we found the facts and we were transparent about them.
Tell me you didn't just say that.
Taking back a World Series for the rest of history and time doesn't make a difference? Did he really say that?
Tell me he didn't just say that, man.
Tell me you did not just say that.
What?
I have no words.
This is the commissioner. This is the guy who runs Major League Baseball. Is he getting a check from Jim Crane? He's definitely getting some side money from Jim Crane.
I think everybody's really upset that none of the players were punished because the Astros will still be a pretty good team next year anyway. And the only thing that would have affected their performance next year in the win column would have been to suspend the players, which is why everybody's upset. But the fact of the matter is that Manfred doesn't want the beef because they have a contract that's coming up with the Players Association, and they know that this kind of unprecedented punishment, even though it's the integrity of the game is within his job description, it can he's hiding behind I wanted to get information from them, so I absolved them. It was more of a a structure from the entire organization. It was an organization thing, not a player thing. Right. When, bro, like
he's done it's
an everybody thing, bro.
He's done a lot of hiding around the players' union and saying that, well, if we punish the players and we suspend
because they know that listen, any kind of suspension, the union's gonna come after your ass because now you're coming after their pay. They're gonna be like,
the
bro,
union's gonna fight it.
I'm not
but
gonna
what
let
about
you-
the other 29 teams and players that were affected that are in the union?
I'm sorry, man. The majority rules for me.
But
the majority rules.
See, that's the thing. If you're in the players' union, you gotta. And the way that the union looks at it is, we protect every player no matter what, right? So whether they're on that one team, we got to, like, the same way that they had to protect A-Rod, right, when he was doing his shit, right, is the same way that they need to protect, you know, during the time they needed to, you know, and they didn't, I don't know if they had the players' union. Obviously they didn't have the players' union back. If Shoeless Joe Jackson would have went through the same shit, they would have probably tried to protect him. Even if they're wrong, they have to. That's what they pay for, bro. If you're in a union, you have to pay. You have to pay for
But
protection.
these players
how about
were
P. Rose?
using a system that
How about-
affected other players, literally
They did.
other players' careers.
Still.
How about Pete Rose? Did they protect Pete Rose? He's still not in the Hall of
Well,
Fame.
that's the thing. His shit happened after.
I think he's gonna get in because I watched the Manfred interview, and Manfred he said he has to like take it seriously this time with Pete Rose. Like he has to revisit it. I mean, because in the past they've kind of just laughed at Pete Rose, but now Pete Rose has a valid case.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
You
with
see,
Pete
man,
Rose.
is listen, man, he Manfred just completely fucked everything up. Everything.
Yo, like these guys try and put band-aids on the wound, and instead they end up ripping the scab off. They end up like they try to stop the bleeding, they're making it worse and worse. It's a snowball effect
Bro,
now.
if you already have fires on record, everybody else, you'd be like, listen, we already got this. This is going to happen. What they should have done is they would have said, these are the suspensions that you guys are looking at. We can reduce them to this amount if you guys give us information. If you don't, then you're going to get the whole thing. I'm just going to give you the hard. They should have did that. The whole immunity shit is a fucking farce because it's over. That's why nobody feels like this shit has teeth.
The immunity thing only worked because look, they only you know coming out with 2017.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking. The players are not saying anything about 18 and 19.
And Manfred is absolving them too. Like,
So my whole thing is, all right,
outta here, bro.
so you gave them full immunity, but you only got them to to come out and say, yeah, we did cheat in 2017.
they didn't even say the word cheat.
Oh, that we
Right.
yeah, exactly my point.
For our misgivings.
So what is it? What is it like? The return was not at all. It wasn't full.
That's why people won't rest until this Altuve buzzer thing gets figured out.
And that's another thing because then everybody's talking about the buzzers and shit like that.
We
and
keep
then
getting new developments, right? The tattoo thing happened 2 days ago, and
He had
then
a
last
tattoo.
night someone noticed, hey, he had a blue undershirt on the first 8 innings,
And then he
and then
took
in
that
the
shit
9th
off.
inning he was shirtless. And
Listen.
then after he hit the home run, he went back into the. This dude is changing his undershirt that much. Who does that?
I'll tell you what, he's gonna have to get a tattoo now. If he didn't have one,
An ugly one.
they're gonna have to get a fucking tattoo now, bro. Well, when he was hearing that, probably Altuve was listening to that. He's like,
tattoo with an H on it.
he was like, what did you talk? Like, I already imagine like Altuve. As soon as the interview ends, he just sees Correa. Hey, what was that?
Bro,
He's like,
you know
nah,
how-
man, this is how we're gonna get from under this, man. He's like, yo, I gotta get a tattoo now, motherfucker. Like, what?
You know how dumb you got to be to come
ugly
up
one.
with that type of cover up this late? It took you this long, right? The ALCS was October. We're in mid-February, and now we're learning of this tattoo. And then you know how lame Correa is? He put their wives in it. And the quote was, my wife is talking to Altuve's wife the first time that I ripped his shirt off, and she says to my wife, why are they ripping Altuve's shirt off? One, my fiance sent me the quote, and she's like, do you think Altuve's wife refers to him as Altuve, or do you think Correa misspoke? He definitely misspoke because he was making it up. They're just making it worse. They keep adding things to it. So hey, case
His
is
wife
still
calls
open.
him Altuve.
Yeah.
Right. Like why is Carlos ripping off Altuve's shirt?
Well, that was a.
You mean Jose?
That was the third excuse. The first excuse was that he was shy.
Yeah.
That back 2017.
Then the second.
The second excuse is, oh no, my wife.
I'll get in trouble with my wife.
And then the third one is now this tattoo.
Now the tattoo.
Which,
So it's like, fam, you keep changing the story.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
so-
you're not consistent, brother.
We're gonna get to the bottom.
But
of it.
he
The
can't-
internet
We don't
is gonna
believe
get
you.
to the
You
bottom
need
of it.
more people.
listen,
Fact.
even if
Sorry,
what?
brother.
Even if the tattoo shit is true, Correa, you cannot get tight for people like putting your feet to the fire and not believing shit you say. You a cheater, B. Like, it's
you're
proven
wrong.
cheater.
You did the wrong
That's
first.
it. Take
You
it
did
out
wrong
and shut the
first.
fuck up.
It's like,
That's it.
It's like the boy that cried wolf. Finally, when the wolf is there.
And hopefully this is the last time we talk about this shit.
The wolf is there.
I
and
said
like,
it,
oh, you
I
want us
said
to
it on
believe you.
Twitter, bro. It's like the kid in school that's a smart kid, but instead of using his smarts to do well at school, he figures out all the schemes on how to cheat. And this dude always gets good grades and nobody really knows. But then when he gets caught, he can't face it. He's like, no, I did get all straight A's. And then he just keeps lying. Well, no, I did this and I did, and just makes it worse. And the teacher pulls him to the side and says, yo, if you just tell me what you did,
I'll just only give you detention for the rest of the year. Okay?
right, I'll let you remake up this one test and you just come sit with me after school every Wednesday. He said, no, I did it fair and square. You can even, all right, well, now you're expelled. Now we're going to elevate this to, everybody going to know about it and you're expelled. You'll be known as the fraudulent cheater that cheated your way through high school, and now that you can't shake that. So you can't get mad at the other students.
Yeah.
The other students that's looking at you like, hold on.
Right.
I had to study. I had to work.
Motherfucker.
Well, in MLB news, in other MLB news, we have some rule changes. 3-batter minimum for the relievers, which we knew.
Yeah.
Active rosters now officially has gone to 26. In a doubleheader, it can now go to 27. The 26th man cannot be a pitcher, but the 27th man can, because that person goes back. So it's might be a little confusing for some people, but that's what it would be. There's also the IL now for pitchers, of course, now goes to 15 days, and for position players goes to 10. I'm fine with. So people aren't hiding people in the IL in terms of pitchers. And then there's this is probably the new addition that we didn't even know about, because everything else we basically knew about. Managers will now have only up to 20 seconds to challenge a play instead of 30 seconds.
Yep.
And so it's basically that, like, they have to react to that. So I don't know if you guys have anything to say when it comes to that.
So manager would now have 20 seconds to challenge a play. I mean, baseball's trying so hard to speed up the game.
Yep. It's another one of those.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. And I don't know, man. I think you should just leave the shit alone.
Yeah, so speaking of leaving things alone, MLB also wants to make changes, radical changes.
The playoff format.
To their
right?
playoff format. So perhaps, Mumbo, perhaps, Jumbo.
Perhaps not.
Perhaps not. By 2022, hoping to move from 5 teams in each league to meet the playoffs to now 7. And get this, have the teams with the best record, WWE style, pick their playoff opponent. What is your thoughts on this?
Win the World Series before they start changing shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
These guys they're going for television. In 2021, a lot of the deals with Fox, ESPN, NBC, CBS, that type of stuff, the deals are going to be up. There's a lot of things changing with streaming, who's streaming what, who's tied to who. And what they want to do is make this a show. This is a TV play. So, like, you guys, we're coming up to March. You're used to Selection Sunday and the excitement of, oh, the number 1 seed is going to play this seed. They want that flair. They want that dramatic. They want that audience to really be captivated by the suspense of, like, the number 1 team, Yankees, picking, I don't know, the Tampa Bay Rays as their opponent. But, like, baseball doesn't need that. And again, this is Major League Baseball going to change things that, like, we don't need change. Like last year, I was the main guy saying, yo, there should be nets across all 30 ballparks. It's super simple to fix and help the game. It took them a long time to do that. Now they got new bright ideas, right? They want to change the playoff format from a third of the league in the playoffs to almost half the teams in the playoffs. Some of these teams don't belong in the playoffs.
That's the point right there.
And
they
so
don't belong.
what are your thoughts, Chris?
Well, right there, that's basically what I was gonna get at. You're trying to get other teams, low market teams or whatever, like excited about getting into the playoffs or having a chance to get into the playoffs. If they haven't made the moves, look, these owners are billionaires. You know what I mean? They could do what they have to do to get their teams to a much higher level. And you're trying to. The commissioner of baseball is trying to make it easier for these teams to get into the play. Like, bro, no, you don't belong there. You don't belong there. That's it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's dumb stuff.
I got another side to this coin. and this is how I kind of look at it here, right? And not saying it's right or wrong or anything like that, but I guess I'll say it's right.
All right, so that's it.
No. So MLB looks at it as like, yo, a lot of these people, everybody, you know, because of the amount of people that do make the playoffs or are making the playoffs, it gives other teams the excuse to tank. So one side of the coin is maybe more money can come into teams wanting to compete because now more teams can feel like they can get into it and they can be able, anybody can get hot once you get into the playoffs.
That's why you have the second wild card, though.
Right? So
We've seen
the
that
other
with the
thing,
current format in the wild card.
okay, so the other thing that I see also, so on top of that, and then there's this current format with this wild card and whatnot, it's okay. I personally don't like it because I think, the one game playoff thing, it's kind of like a draw thing. I think that it should be, you play series all year. That's just me personally. We've come out in some good ends, right, of the wild card or whatnot, but I just think that seeing more teams get in there, anybody can, there's a thought of like, oh shit, we picked this team. And then now there's extra pressure on that team that you just picked, right, to try to beat this team that you picked. The other team now has bulletin board material because they feel like, okay, you want to choose us? Let's play. Anybody could be anybody when it comes to baseball.
Are we playing into November?
Well, I'm not talking about that yet, right? I'm not going to talk about that in terms of schedule or whatever it is yet, because that's an obvious con. Like, how would you do that?
Because there's no one game playoff with that format that he's talking about. It's a
right.
series.
It's a series. So I look at it as that, and then I also see more teams are available. In basketball, they have basically half the league that basically makes the playoffs, right?
And they play indoors.
The problem with, not that, but I'm saying like the problem with that is just that the one seed, the 8th seed is not really beating the 1 seed. In baseball, it can. Bro, we could play Kansas City, they can get hot, and we'll be out of here.
Depends on the pitching.
It depends on the pitching.
Pitching matchup.
So if you're going to pick people are going to pick people based on matchups sometimes. It's like, why is this guy picking this guy? So I think it'll make things interesting in that sense. I can see why MLB would do that, to have more people also engaged, because then now less people are tanking. Because right now it's a fucking shit show how many teams are openly tanking, saying it's not my time, my team's not going to make the playoffs, it doesn't really matter, and they're openly tanking, not paying players and shit like that, right? So I look at that side of the coin as, okay, if you want to look at it that way, okay, but I can see what you guys are saying too, where it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to dilute the regular season by having half the teams make it. It's like, so it's a give or take, but there are
completely biased. We're all biased, but I know you have to play the other side, but we're biased. We're Yankee fans. In the next 10 years,
I truly feel that way, though.
We're going to be at the top. We're going to be a number 1 seed. We don't want to be playing this game where we put a battery in someone's back because we picked them, and then we have 100-some win season, and we get into this weird playoff format and get knocked off by a 7 seed, 8 seed.
Play a game,
and then
though.
That's what I'm saying. Are we playing until November? Because it gets too cold around here to play baseball come November.
One of the biggest things that we always talked about is the importance of winning the division, and how basically setting ourselves up within the division where we don't have to play that one game wild card or whatever, or even the wild card period. This is just too much, man. This is just way too much going on. Now I got to worry about, okay, now I got to pick this team, which team I want to play, how they're going to set up their offense and pitching and all that extra shit. How are we going to set up our pitching?
Forever, dude. Baseball has been let the chips fall where they may. It's math involved. It's standings involved. When we get to the end of the season, it's a fight for home field advantage, first place, second place. Now we're going to take that out of the game and make it a selection Sunday. I'm not with it. I'm not with it.
I think it's going to lead to – I think all of this stuff is setting up chips for what they're going to do by having universal DH and eventually realigning the league. They want to add – more teams to then have a fully balanced schedule, and then eventually have, look into realignment. Like seriously, like I seen that
all of this is
them
coming.
Wanting to do.
All of this is coming, and Jomboy said it on Talking Yanks, and he says it the best. He says baseball is always looking for the outside fans. They're always looking for the people that don't love baseball. Not like everybody in this room, we grew up watching baseball, rooting for the Yankees. They're trying to get this new fan base to come in, but they're going to lose the traditional fans. They're going to lose the baseball purists, the traditionalists that are going to be like, yo, what are y'all doing?
I don't think those people going anywhere. I think those people rocking. Like, I think baseball looks at it like, okay, the diehards, they're going to stay. Like, the MLB changing this is not going to make me stop watching Yankee baseball. I'm going to continue watching. Like, I'm a diehard. Them trying to do that is, trying to change and trying to look for innovative things. While this might be something that's whatever. Them trying to attract a younger fan or try to attract more fans in other areas, it makes sense for them. For me, I just look at it as like, MLB could change whatever the fuck they want about baseball, and I'm going to end up watching this shit anyway because I just love
back
baseball.
To your Yankee bias. If you're a Kansas City Royals fan, you don't go as hard for your team. You don't go as hard for 162 games if you're a Marlins fan.
Some people, well, not Marlins fan, but Kansas City fans.
For the Pirates, it's like, I don't know.
There are some people, straight up black and yellow, like out there. They straight like.
Yeah,
I can't have a blanket statement like that. See, I can't have a blanket statement and say, oh, they don't have. Every team has your diehard fans,
but
right?
Not in the masses like we have as Yankees.
We don't. But the thing with the Yankees are a huge team. We look at it from our perspective because Yankees are huge teams. There's a lot of bandwagon for the Yankees. Maybe these other teams don't have as many bandwagons, but they have. I mean, to be honest, if you're a Marlins fan, to me, it's like shit. Like, why are you a Marlins fan?
Because you live in Florida, maybe.
Bro,
I don't know, their World Series.
But many people live in Florida and they're Yankee fans
was that much fun for you? Like, it made you a fan forever? What I'm saying is that, everything falls back to us being Yankee fans, used to winning, used to being at the top, used to being in the Bronx right next to the stadium. There's a lot of people that live in some of these places, and it takes them 2 hours to come to the stadium. So if they start changing format and messing with things, I'm not driving to the stadium to support this team. I don't know. I just look at it as baseball stands to lose more fans.
I think there's
by changing
there's
other ways. There's other ways to grow the game.
There's
other ways to grow the game.
By complicating and listen, we might sound like the old guys yelling at the cloud, like, don't change the game.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? I'm cool with that.
That's fine.
But I honestly I feel like there's other ways to attract outside fans instead of complicating the playoffs. You don't have to the playoffs are the playoffs. Win your division and keep doing what you're doing. Get hot at the right time. That's it. If you're gonna end up being a wild card, hey, listen, win your division next year. Don't put yourself in that position. Easy, simple to understand. Now the best record gets to pick their opponent. Division winners do.
I don't like that
wild
though.
Card
I
do this.
don't like the best record pick the opponent.
It's like, fam, stop it. You're not Vince McMahon. This is not the WWE. It's baseball.
When that team goes on to win a World Series, the other teams can say, well, I didn't get to pick my path. We had to play whoever won, whoever the chips fell in. That's what I'm saying. That changes it, where it's like you get to pick your opponent now. In the past, we played the wild card. We played the winner of the East, West, Central. That's just what it is.
What do you guys think of, instead of it being record, like somebody picking it, what about if they do something like some random... What I'm just throwing shit out there, like a lottery shit, like that ass. Like it's like maybe they'll do a selection Sunday.
Yankees have the most balls.
Even that's a better idea. I think that the team having to pick it.
It's not a draft. I don't know.
No, it's not. But let's just say if somebody goes out there and MLB, I don't know, not pick a name out of a hat. Obviously, something a little bit more lavish, but do something where it's a random thing, and it's like, oh shit, this is the team that we got here. But there's I don't know.
There's another way to add that suspense and that element of surprise. So I don't know, maybe make these teams play at a location where somebody doesn't have home field advantage for the first round,
or maybe just
a neutral site or something like that.
Or maybe just do that shit for the lower seeds. Don't do that shit for the top seed. Top seed should get.
If you barely get in,
do that shit it's like a group of teams that barely got in. The one that has the higher seed. All right, so, or maybe we'll just do a randomization. It'll just be maybe they don't pick them, but we'll do that lottery or whatever. Okay, you drew this team.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that a team like the Yankees, let's just say if they won the first spot, why should they be subject to a randomization? What if they pick the second seed? It's what the fuck?
In a way, the wild card itself is a lottery. That's why it's called the wild card. You don't know who you're going to get. the hottest team that comes out of that.
Sometimes
See,
but
at the end of the season, the last couple of weeks, we know the Mets ain't making the wild card.
How about this? The team with the best record gets to draft a player from the other.
What the fuck, man?
The team with the best record. We'll play whoever. We'll play whoever. We'll play on the
I'll take
parking lot.
Mookie Betts. When he was with the Red Sox, I'll take Mookie. Thank you.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say about it because I know we got to wrap up.
Yeah.
I don't want MLB taking notes from NCAA. If they want to make a tournament-style March Madness Selection Sunday, but they don't want to strip a title the way that the NCAA stripped the title from Reggie Bush and the USC Trojans for having extra benefits like money, cars, clothes. Why are you taking pages out of NCAA amateur sports for professional sports, but you won't follow them with the way they punish their athletes and the way they punish teams? Like, nah, like
it's ridiculous, man.
The way
was that soccer team? Was that soccer team?
Manchester City.
It was like, yo, y'all done for the next 2 seasons.
I'm glad you remembered that and got that in because the timing of that, everybody saw that on Twitter and they were like, hey, MLB, this is how you punish a team that cheats.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. So
wow, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Good.
But
fuck you.
But yeah, guys, let us know, man. Leave us a voicemail. Let us know how you guys feel about that or your idea. What would be your ideas for changing the league or updating the league and whatnot, or what you would do, or I don't know. We're just throwing shit out there. Nothing really too crazy.
Would you change it?
Would you change it? Would you not? Or if you do change it, how would you change it? I don't know. And guys, if you leave us a voice note, make sure it's like a minute long.
At least a minute.
Somebody left us a voice note and we aren't able to play it because it's too long. I'm not able to play that. It's like over 2 minutes there. So try to leave us a message there. 347-389-4898 or leave us questions on Twitter.
A minute is type long. 30 seconds.
No, a minute is good. A minute is good.
Just leave your name and ask a question.
Leave a name, ask a question, make a comment, ask us questions, whatever the hell you want. Don't worry about it. And we'll go ahead and we'll just talk about it, all right? Is there anything? I mean, we've covered pretty much everything here. Yeah, somebody's going to be like, you missed it. Like, damn.
Position players report. This has been the first week of pitchers and catchers. Is all cool, all fun, and exciting to see. We're getting there.
We're Chris picks. We're in the Bronx, Bronx artist, A Boogie with the hoodie. He dropped an album, Artist 2.0.
Of course,
definitely listen to that. It's pretty cool. The intro's fire. Chris picks for this week.
Good job. All right.
To the BX.
So let us know. Next week we'll talk about who are going to be our shooting stars or who we think is going to, we'll have our picks as who we think is going to be like the top risers in spring training, who's going to open your eyes and whatnot. We'll talk about that, whether it's position players, whether it's pitchers. We'll talk about that next week. So, guys.
David Hill.
Okay. Yeah, guys.
Oh, one more thing, and I know we got to wrap up. Dates coming up.
Yes.
If you guys are down in spring training, Wednesday, February 19th, Jomboy, Jake, Talking Yanks, JomboyMedia event at some type of brewery down there. Look it up. It's out there. They're doing it. It's a free event at the bar. Fast forward now, February 29th, Talking Yanks event at George M. Steinbrenner Field. It's going to be dope. We'll be there. It's just going to be like, we'll have the rooftop deck, food, drinks. It's going to be like vibes.
Fire.
Fast forward, March 14th. Billy's JomboyMedia launch event. We'll all be there for that. And then, everything else coming up. Follow us all and stay Pinstripe strong.
All right, good, man. Follow us on social media. Follow me at Joe's McFly. Follow Chris at
McFly28.
And follow Keith at
Keith McPherson.
Yes, follow us on there. Follow Pinstripe Strong, Twitter and Instagram at Pinstripe Strong. But guys, like I always say, make sure you guys keep your pinstripes sewn. Stay pinstripe strong. Let's go Yankees. Tell them, Noah. All right.
Let's do it.
Whoa.